When it comes to treasure, it's something that we all secretly want to find, but we never think that we'll be lucky enough to get it.
What if I told you that right now, someone is using a piece of space rock worth $100,000 to prop open their barn door? Or that a priceless Michelangelo painting is hidden behind someone's couch because kids kept hitting it with tennis balls? These aren't fictional stories. They're real discoveries that change people's lives forever. Today, we're diving into 12 of the most incredible and unexpected finds that prove treasure isn't always where you think it is. The tennis ball Michelangelo. The Kober family had a painting hanging in their Brooklyn home that they always assumed was a fake. When their children accidentally hit it with a tennis ball and scuffed it, they hid it behind the sofa to protect it from further damage. There it stayed, forgotten, until Martin Kober retired from the Air Force in 2003 and decided to investigate the painting's history. What he discovered was extraordinary. Art experts identified it as a genuine, unfinished painting by Michelangelo, one of the greatest artists in human history. The Renaissance master had apparently created it as a gift for a friend, and through a complex chain of inheritance, it ended up in the Kober family. The painting could be worth up to $300 million. It's now safely stored in a bank vault, protected from any future tennis ball incidents. The Lost Author's Final Flight. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, author of The Little Prince, took off on a reconnaissance mission over the French coast in July 1944 and never returned. His disappearance remained one of aviation's greatest mysteries until 2004, when a French underwater salvage team finally located his crashed plane off the coast of Marseille. The discovery solved the mystery of what happened to the beloved author, but it also raised new questions. The wreckage was found, but the cause of the crash remains unknown. Saint-Exupéry was as famous for his adventurous spirit as he was for his writing, and his final flight became part of his legend. The $100,000 doorstop. For 30 years, Michigan farmer David Masarek used a heavy rock to prop open his barn door. When he saw people selling tiny meteorite fragments on eBay for hundreds of dollars, he got curious. He took his doorstop to Central Michigan University, and scientists were stunned. This wasn't just any rock. It was a rare iron-nickel meteorite worth up to $100,000. Masarek had been casually using a fortune as a doorstop for 3 decades. The basement bunker's surprise. Chris Scott thought he was just doing routine garden maintenance when he decided to investigate a mysterious drain cover in his backyard. What he found underneath changed his understanding of his own property forever. Climbing down a ladder, he discovered a massive concrete bunker with 2 rooms, tables, chairs, and basic electronics, big enough to hold 50 people. The secret shelter had been built as a neighborhood bomb shelter and then sealed up when it was no longer needed. Chris had been living above this hidden space for years without knowing it existed. Instead of being freaked out, he saw opportunity. He's now converting his surprise bunker into the ultimate wine cellar. Imagine the dinner party stories he'll have. The prehistoric river walk. Jose Antonio Nieves was enjoying a peaceful walk in the Argentinian countryside when he spotted something massive by a river. What he initially thought was a giant dinosaur egg turned out to be something equally incredible: the shell of a glyptodon, a prehistoric armadillo ancestor that went extinct over 10,000 years ago. The shell was bigger than a Volkswagen Beetle and would have served as armor for the ancient creature. While such discoveries aren't uncommon in South America, finding one of this size and such excellent condition caused great excitement among historians and biologists. Jose's casual riverside stroll had uncovered a piece of natural history that museums would kill for. The tank in the backyard. Imagine discovering that the pile of mechanical junk in your yard is actually a Soviet T-54 tank. That's exactly what happened to someone in a small village. These tanks were manufactured between 1946 and 1959 and were highly valued by the Soviet Army for their reliability. Some smaller armies still use them today. Nobody knows exactly how the tank ended up in pieces in a civilian yard, but the best theory is that a farmer adapted it for use as a tractor after the military had no further use for it. There was a military presence in the village until the 1980, so perhaps a deal was struck. The discovery raises the intriguing question, could it be reassembled and made operational again? The grandmother's garage gold mine. When elderly relatives downsize, always check their garage. One family learned this lesson in the most profitable way possible. A grandson visiting his grandmother discovered not one, but two forgotten supercars collecting dust in her garage. A Lamborghini worth around $500,000 and a Ferrari 308 had been sitting there for over 20 years. The grandfather had planned to start a luxury car business in the 1980s, but abandoned the idea when insurance costs became too high. The cars he'd already purchased went into storage and were completely forgotten. With just a good cleaning and basic maintenance, both vehicles were still in excellent condition. Sometimes the best treasures are hidden in the most ordinary places. The forest rocket discovery. Russian hunters got the surprise of their lives when they heard a loud bang during the night and discovered a crashed rocket near a swamp. The spacecraft was from the failed Soyuz 57 mission to the International Space Station. While the astronauts survived the launch accident, the rocket was considered completely lost until these hunters stumbled upon it in the forest. Space agencies carefully planned flight paths to ensure rockets fall into unpopulated areas, usually the ocean. But sometimes things don't go according to plan. The hunters' discovery provided valuable insights into what went wrong during the mission. The exact location hasn't been revealed, but the photos and videos they took confirmed the authenticity of their incredible find. The hidden wall dweller. Two teenagers playing in their parents' room accidentally pushed against a bookcase and discovered it was actually a secret door. Behind it was a passageway with a staircase leading to what appeared to be a solid wall, but closer inspection revealed a tiny crawl space. Crawling through, the boys made a chilling discovery: wrappers from their own Halloween candy, a mysterious key, and a collection of creepy dolls. Someone had been living in the hidden space inside their house. Police investigated but couldn't identify the unwanted guest. The family quickly sealed up the room, but the mystery of who was living in their walls was never solved. The Nazi hideout. Deep in an Argentinian forest near the Paraguayan border, investigators discovered mysterious buildings that don't match typical local architecture. The structures have 10-foot thick walls, suggesting they were built as a fortress, and inside, researchers found German coins minted between 1938 and 1941, along with remnants of porcelain dishes made by a German company. The discovery adds weight to long-standing rumors that senior Nazis escaped to South America after World War II. While there's no definitive proof of who built these structures or lived in them, the evidence suggests a German presence in this remote location during the war years. The orbiting ghost. India's Chandrayaan-1 spacecraft was supposed to disappear forever after completing its lunar mission in 2009. The small orbiter had performed chemical and terrain surveys of the moon before losing contact with Earth. At only 5 feet tall, it was expected to become a tiny, undetectable satellite of the moon. But 8 years later, NASA's new radar equipment spotted something remarkable. Chandrayaan-1 was still there, orbiting 124 miles above the lunar surface, circling from pole to pole. After 8 years adrift and alone in space, its orbit had barely changed at all. The lost spacecraft had been patiently continuing its journey around the moon, waiting to be found again. These incredible discoveries prove that extraordinary treasures can be hiding anywhere, in your garage, behind your couch, or even propping open your barn door. From million-dollar meteorites to priceless paintings, from secret bunkers to spacecraft, the world is full of unexpected surprises waiting to be found. The next time you're cleaning out an old space or investigating something unusual, remember these stories. You never know when you might stumble upon your own incredible find. If you enjoyed learning about these amazing discoveries, smash that like button and subscribe for more incredible stories that will blow your mind. Until next time, keep your eyes open. You never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight.